In this episode, we're diving into a technical exploration of a hypothetical clash between two colossal forces of popular culture, Godzilla and the Avengers. Today's discussion isn't merely about entertainment tropes, it's about dissecting raw power metrics, behavioral patterns, and advanced combat algorithms which could decide the outcome of an epic encounter. We'll scrutinize Godzilla's evolutionary design, from its pseudo-biological resilience to the mechanics behind its atomic breath, and measure these elements against the precision-engineered strengths of the Avengers, whose members harness cutting-edge technology and specialized techniques honed by years of scientific development and combat theory. Our analysis will incorporate hard data, rigorous number-based comparisons, and technical insights that assume familiarity with fields such as biomechanics, energy physics, and strategic military studies. By breaking down the capabilities on a granular level, we aim to understand not only who might prevail in a head-to-head confrontation, but also the underlying principles that govern these engagements. Expect discussions on power output measured in joules, structural integrity approximated by stress tests, and efficiency ratings similar to those used in modern robotics. While the topic might seem whimsical at first glance, the underlying scientific and tactical frameworks are anything but trivial. We will approach the subject with a relaxed tone, friendly and precise, while engaging in complex evaluations that merit expert-level scrutiny. By the end of this session, you should have a clearer, fact-driven picture of how monster physics might interact with superhuman strategy, setting the stage for a nuanced verdict on whether Godzilla could indeed outmatch the Avengers in a hypothetical scenario. Tracing the lineage of these two iconic entities provides valuable context for our technical analysis. Godzilla first emerged from Japanese cinema in the mid-20th century, a being conceived as both a metaphor for nuclear annihilation and an embodiment of nature's retaliation. Early films established Godzilla's robust physiology, characterized by near-immutable regenerative processes, exceptional structural density, and the raw kinetic energy of its devastating atomic breath. Over decades, filmmakers have incrementally introduced enhancements to its design. Refined, almost modular, exoskeletal components, adaptive camouflage, and sensory arrays that hint at a primitive form of environmental scanning. Researchers have postulated that Godzilla's heat output during atomic breath assaults has energy equivalents comparable to large-scale rocket propulsion, making it a fascinating study in kinetic and thermal energy transfer. In contrast, the Avengers originated in the comic book milieu of the 1960s, quickly evolving into a multifaceted team of heroes whose individual powers are amplified when working in coordinated tactics. Each member is engineered, whether biologically enhanced or technologically augmented, to contribute uniquely to the ensemble. For instance, Iron Man's rending repulsor beams and exoskeletal design, Thor's mythologically themed but physically formidable control over electromagnetism, and Hulk's biomechanical prowess collectively form a synergy that exceeds the sum of their parts. The team's progression in cinematic portrayals has been marked by an increasing reliance on data-driven strategies, with battle scenarios modeled using simulations that incorporate probability matrices and combat algorithm optimizations. This detailed background not only sets the stage for our direct comparisons, but also highlights the evolution of storytelling that incorporates real-world physics principles. By contrasting Godzilla's embodiment of natural, relentless power with the Avengers' human-engineered strategic combat integration, we establish a common ground of analysis that places advanced technology alongside raw biological might. Understanding these origins ensures we appreciate the sophisticated engineering, both fictional and theoretical, inherent in each side, thereby equipping us to delve deeper into their strategic and physical attributes in subsequent sections. Godzilla's capabilities are a study in natural optimization, blending raw nuclear energy with biomechanical fortitude. Its towering stature, often depicted at heights exceeding 100 meters, provides a significant gravitational advantage when calculating impact force. The creature's regenerative capacity, modeled on accelerated cellular repair mechanisms, is theoretically comparable to observed tissue regeneration in amphibians, but magnified to a scale that challenges the limits of conventional biomechanical systems. Studies, albeit hypothetical, demonstrate that Godzilla's exoskeletal composition could be viewed through the lens of carbon fiber analogs with composite reinforcements, capable of absorbing and redistributing kinetic energy at significantly higher thresholds than standard terrestrial materials. A focal point in Godzilla's arsenal is its atomic breath, a directed energy attack where thermal and radiation energies are expelled in a focused stream. Expert analyses estimate that the output energy could be in the realm of terajoules for a sustained burst, a figure that places it alongside high-yield thermonuclear devices in theoretical models. Not only does this weapon deliver thermal damage, but its radiation component introduces secondary effects, material embrittlement and degradation of electronic systems, which become significant in long-range battles against technologically dependent adversaries. Furthermore, Godzilla's sensory systems appear to integrate rudimentary radar-like mechanisms, probably derived from evolved biological sonar, allowing rapid assessment of structural weaknesses in urban environments. Another technical nuance lies in Godzilla's locomotion. Despite its immense mass, the creature demonstrates a gait that optimizes momentum through biomechanical resonance, effectively reducing energy dissipation during rapid movement. Computational biomechanics models suggest that such dynamics can be simulated using adjusted pendulum motion equations, accounting for energy conservation and transfer in large-scale terrestrial organisms. Additionally, the creature's environmental interactions, capable of withstanding seismic disturbances, underscore its evolutionary design for high-impact absorption. These assessments are bolstered by quantitative comparisons in simulated battles, where Godzilla's stress parameters, energy output, and regenerative kinetics are pitted against adversarial forces. The reliability of these numerical models is critical for estimating the dynamics of large-scale confrontations, particularly when juxtaposing a natural force of nature with a team engineered for tactical collaboration. The Avengers represent a confluence of advanced engineering, human enhancement, and strategic combat doctrine. Each member's skills are underpinned by rigorous data-driven calibrations, ensuring that their powers are optimized for both individual conflicts and coordinated multi-agent engagements. Consider Iron Man. His suit integrates a sophisticated fusion reactor capable of converting matter into high-density energy, allowing his repulsors to deliver pulses with precision measured in megajoules per discharge. Advanced materials technology in the suit provides structural resilience and adaptive armor capabilities, modeled on modern composite materials mixed with theoretical nanotechnological enhancements. Thor's contributions extend beyond mythological symbolism. His control over lightning and electromagnetism adheres to principles of high-voltage electrification and energy conduction. Detailed simulations suggest that the kinetic energy in a single lightning strike, when harnessed through Mjolnir, can rival localized plasma discharges seen in controlled fusion experiments. Hulk's sheer physicality, analyzed through biomechanical models, displays a force multiplication effect. Studies using finite element analysis estimate that Hulk's muscle density and impact resistance operate close to the theoretical limits of human tissue, augmented by a metabolic output that defies conventional physics. Team synergy, the Avengers' central strength, is supported by real-time battlefield data analytics, advanced communication protocols, and artificial intelligence-assisted decision-making. This coordination reflects principles drawn from swarm robotics and network theory, where distributed agents execute tactical operations with near simultaneity. For instance, during simulated encounters, the Avengers have been observed to integrate overlapping fields of offensive and defensive vectors, minimizing the risk of singular point failure. Their strategic planning often employs game theory models, optimizing decision trees based on probabilistic outcomes and dynamic counters. Moreover, the Avengers' reliance on state-of-the-art weaponry, sensor arrays, and battlefield drones introduces a layer of precision that is quantifiable in statistical accuracy tests. Their approach to sustained engagements involves iterative recalibration of attack patterns, thereby exploiting weaknesses in enemy defensive matrices. This methodical analysis, combined with a blend of kinetic and energy-based weapons, creates a flexible combat framework that can adapt to varying conditions and counteract overpowering adversaries, even if those adversaries are as physically formidable as Godzilla. In this head-to-head technical analysis, we compare key performance indicators including strength, durability, and energy dispersion. On one side, Godzilla's robustness is defined by its near-impenetrable exoskeleton, regenerative kinetics, and the massive energy output from its atomic breath, which, on paper, approaches the destructive force of high-energy plasma discharges. In contrast, the Avengers rely on distributed processing and collective firepower. Each hero brings a specialized function to the battlefield that compensates for the vulnerabilities of individual units. From a numerical standpoint, Godzilla's impact forces and thermal energy output can potentially overwhelm conventional defenses if delivered in a concentrated burst. However, the Avengers possess a strategic advantage based on modular attack patterns and decentralized command structures. Their ability to adapt, using real-time data analytics and predictive algorithms, allows them, theoretically, to mitigate single-point failures and redistribute force vectors quickly. For example, while Godzilla's kinetic impact may create shockwaves that disrupt centralized operations, the Avengers' independent operational nodes could reposition to avoid collateral interference. Furthermore, the comparative durability factors are noteworthy. Godzilla's structural resistance has been modeled to withstand impacts exceeding tens of megatons, yet it lacks the rapid tactical recalibration inherent in a coordinated team strategy. The Avengers, while individually less durable, can certainly exploit Godzilla's response latency by implementing hit-and-run tactics, area denial strategies, and electronic warfare measures designed to disrupt Godzilla's sensory inputs. When assessing range, agility, and tactical adaptability, it becomes evident that while one entity dominance offers overwhelming raw power, the multi-pronged strategic deployment characteristic of a battle-hardened team can introduce critical countermeasures that may shift the momentum at pivotal moments. Let's now analyze specific battle scenarios where environmental variables and tactical strategies come into play. In an urban setting, for example, Godzilla's colossal size translates to significant collateral damage as it maneuvers through narrow streets, while the Avengers could exploit verticality and cover provided by skyscrapers. Here, computations indicate that Godzilla's path could be predicted using urban traffic flow models, allowing the Avengers to establish ambush points with optimized line-of-sight targeting. Additionally, in a coastal or sea-based encounter, the natural amphibiotic tendencies of Godzilla provide it with a mobility advantage, yet the Avengers could counteract by deploying amphibious assault teams and drone swarms programmed with real-time geospatial corrections. Detailed simulations demonstrate that if the Avengers can establish multiple perimeter defenses using directional energy barriers, they might force Godzilla into a reactive posture, significantly lowering its effective offensive output. Tactical breakdowns utilizing finite element analysis have revealed that even a brief window of vulnerability in Godzilla's regenerative cycle could be exploited by a coordinated assault. In these simulations, predictive algorithms based on historical damage data indicate a potential reduction in regenerative efficiency by up to 15% if hit with additive electromagnetic pulses, a factor that could be leveraged by tech-enhanced members such as Iron Man and Black Panther. Conversely, if Godzilla were to initiate a full frontal attack under optimal conditions, calculated trajectories, and minimal obstacles, it could mitigate the Avengers' strategic dispersal by saturating the battle zone with high-energy impacts. In this scenario, the natural shockwave produced by a single atomic breath, quantified in terajoules, could disrupt advanced sensor arrays and force a temporary retraction of coordinated units. The meticulous balancing of these factors reinforces that while numerical models favor teamwork under disruptive conditions, the outcome heavily depends on environmental variables and precise timing. After extensive analysis of the raw power metrics, tactical efficiencies, and environmental factors, the technical verdict on whether Godzilla could defeat the Avengers is far from a binary conclusion. On one hand, Godzilla exhibits singular, overwhelming force characterized by massive energy output, near-impervious regenerative mechanisms, and biomechanical advantages that defy standard terrestrial physics. On the other hand, the Avengers excel in distributed warfare, leveraging advanced data analytics, modular combat strategies, and highly adaptive battlefield repositioning that allow them to compensate for individual vulnerabilities. Our examination, which integrated numerical models ranging from terajoule calculations to finite element analysis, reveals that the key to victory in such an encounter would likely not reside in the raw might of one contender, but in the interplay of environmental factors, timing of attacks, and the strategic application of technology. For expert-level observers, the debate transforms into one about systems optimization, where controlled variables, such as electromagnetic pulse interference or rapid sensor elimination, could tilt the scales in favor of a coordinated team, despite facing a true force of nature. In summation, while Godzilla theoretically possesses the capacity to deliver catastrophic damage in concentrated bursts, the Avengers' multi-vector approach, backed by real-time tactical recalibration and synergistic combat theories, presents a robust countermeasure. Thus, the final verdict rests on situational contingencies. Each side has distinct merits that, when modeled,